StreamYard-Studio.
Awesome sauce! Hello, everyone. I am your host, Blind Adam Wonders, the Comic Pimp. This is Awesome Sauce Radio. Remember, you don't need sight to have a vision. It's not what happens, it's what you do about it. Before we get started with tonight's very special guest, I'd like to give a couple shout-outs. I'd like to shout out to Dominic and We Are 321 Music for allowing me to use his song. I do have plans for the entire song coming up. I also want to give a shout out to Alien Rob over at Tornado the Movie and Abduction Wine for his help in arranging the interview tonight. Check out everything Abduction Wine, Tornado the Movie, Milky Marbles, and his 9,000 other characters are doing. I also want to give a huge shout out to IMJP Wheels for being the man in the chair tonight, showing the images and help me produce the show. Please catch the replay of this episode on the I Am Wheels podcast over on Twitch and his YouTube channel as well, as this is a shared endeavor tonight. So support the Wheels podcast over on Twitch and YouTube. I would really appreciate that. Also want to give a shout out to one of my favorite ladies. She will be one of the stars in Sugar Wafer and Tornado and the other 9,000 projects Alien Rob and myself have going on. She's going to be one of my Whatnot girls over on my Whatnot channel. Michaela Cox, Miss Michaela Cox all over the internet. So just Google Miss Michaela Cox. Tell her Blind Adam sent you, and I hope that she's doing well. Now that we have the shout-outs out of the way, I'd like to... My tonight's guest is a living legend of the small screen. He is a Hall of Famer, 3-time AVN Best Male Performer. He's the adult performer with the most geek cred I've ever known. He's running for Congress in the great state of Nevada. The one, the only, Mr. Evan Stone. How are you, sir?
Woo! What's going on?
Not much. I've been having a good day, and just I really want to first say thank you for making a bucket list finally get crossed. You've been on the bucket list for about 10 years.
We just had the. I'm sorry, I just had the dog alarm go off.
We got a dog situation.
Yep.
All right, now I'm back to the other part of the house. Yes, the question was. What was the question?
I was just thanking you for helping me cross off the bucket list that I've been wanting to do for about 10 years now.
Oh, I can explain. I had student loans. I owed my mom money. I had to do other things that were paying lots of money. But I love you. I love you, Blind Adam. You're fantastic. Thank you. I'm honored to be on your show. Thank you very much for putting me on.
Yep. So, what made you decide to run for Congress?
Oh, that's easy. That's so easy. So, COVID happened, right? And so, COVID was great. COVID was crazy, and a lot of stuff happened with COVID. And I had recording studios in Burbank, and I was all but retired. I had six studios. I started with one, then I got two, then I got three, and I got myself up to six. And COVID shut it all down. And because of the great state of California, I couldn't kick the people out. And if they didn't want to leave, they weren't paying rent or anything like this, I couldn't turn off the power, couldn't turn off the internet, couldn't turn off the heat, couldn't turn off the gas. Just had to keep paying rent. And this went on for, almost 3 years or however long COVID lasted, and I went bankrupt. And so I tried to get a PPP loan, the government guaranteed loan that they like to give out to everybody else money, but they wouldn't give it to me because I was Evan Stone of Evan Stone Productions. And they said I'm a porn company, and they wouldn't do it. Although they gave topless bars and stuff money, they just didn't want to do it to me.
Almost every strip club in America money to stay afloat during that time period.
Right. And there's that. And then the assault on our rights. Our rights, of course, as adult entertainers, what the government is doing, trying to sanction us, shut us down. And so at some point, someone's got to stand up and walk out there and start stepping on some toes.
I think the biggest thing that we're facing as an industry in adult entertainment is age verification. When you get to Congress, how are you going to fight this, sir?
Okay, well, that's not a fight. It's already solved. I already got it solved. It is not the government's responsibility to monitor your computer for porn, to tell you what they think porn is, and then sanction that from your computer. You are the parent. It is your responsibility. Parents have rights. Parents' rights. It's a parent's responsibility to make sure their kid isn't on their computer looking at what the government says is porn. Straight out.
Yes. I mean, the thing with Texas, what happened in Texas scared me to the point where I was like, well, a state can make a $1 billion company just leave? Just like that.
They're out of control. All right. And then who's to say what? Okay, they're deciding what porn is. So who's to say what porn is? What is the level of porn? Are naked breasts porn? Because if we got pictures of National Geographic of 1973 of people indigenous to Africa walking around with naked breasts, was that porn? I mean, where do they draw the line? Who decides on what porn is? So it's so arbitrary. You can't decide where the line is to during porn. So it is not the government's responsibility. I didn't put people in office so they could tell me what they're going to censor for me. Can't do it. I get so upset.
Yeah, it drives me nuts. A lot of people that it's hurting, and trying to put money to feed their families and pay their rent and pay their taxes.
Right, and it's also in government overreach, including TikTok. Now, TikTok, it's a situation right there where the government said, well, we messed up. We messed up on our security, and we're way behind on what's going on with China. So instead of fixing it or taking care of it, we're just going to go ahead and shut this company down and say, look, we fixed the problem.
It's crazy. As a congressman,
American investors were involved in that company, and the government took their money away again.
Do you feel that there are certain parts of the federal government that just have too much power nowadays?
Well, yeah. When you have, okay, I mean, obviously in the Constitution, they divided up into three separate parts of the government, all supposed to watch out for each other. But when one part of this government makes up a whole agency, and that agency is able to make laws and assess fines without a vote of the consent of the people, that stuff is out of control. And that's where it's got to stop.
Well said. Well said.
As far as the budget's concerned, the budget's always the budget thing. They always wait till the last minute. They turn everything in. The problem is pork belly spending. I don't know if you remember the Bridge to Nowhere a long time ago. Do you do? I love you,
I do, man.
So this stuff goes on. So people are not familiar with what the Bridge to Nowhere is. Bridge to Nowhere was up in Alaska, I believe Alaska. And it's just a bridge. They sent Alaska a bunch of money so that the governor of Alaska could give the unions a bunch of money for building a bridge that went nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. And so how you fix that, the House tried to do it earlier. It's called a line item veto. So you get a bill, you get it there, and it's got some other stuff that's put on there just to get other people to vote on it, and you just scratch it out. And then at some point, we'll get down to a point where, you see, the government, they don't want to work hard. So they want to stack a bunch of bills up on one thing, so they just got to take one vote so they can give themselves another vacation. These guys don't work. They don't do the job. They're not representing us. This is just, it's 1776 all over again.
Wow.
Well, minus the cool uniforms and the patriotism.
Oh yeah, exactly. Those uniforms rocked.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I have a question local to your state. Will you, when you get into Congress, will you lobby to make sure that the world's oldest profession, as legalized organized brothels, will be in Clark County finally?
Okay, so here's the situation with that. Now, They've got it isolated out into one county. Now, obviously it works. Obviously it's not a problem. Otherwise it would be in all the news of all the cops and all the police people going out there all the time. That doesn't happen. So everything is running smooth, right?
Yes.
So that should be as an example, because Nevada is the best state in the union. We are the freest state in the union. We have gambling. We have hookers. We have freedom. Actually, we've had freedom of speech here. This is the
-1801101.7.
One thing, computers for the blind like to cause uprisings and revolutions every now and then. Sorry about that.
It's not good. and so this works. Now this is my platform. People say they have a problem with prostitution. Well, prostitution has been around since the beginning of time. It's always been there. Deal with it. What is happening now is sex trafficking of children. And no one's doing anything about it because they can't stop it, because they don't know how to stop it. The reason we don't have sex trafficking in porn, because our name, our picture, our signature is on every freaking document. The government knows everything about what's going on. So you regulate it, right? You insure it. That way the people, I just had a friend who was working here, went to the Vegas casino, got beat up by the John, didn't get paid. The casino didn't do anything and the cops didn't do anything. So there you go. And that's going on. That was an adult. Now it's going on with children. And the only way to stop that is to legalize prostitution. If it's a woman's body and a woman's choice, she can do everything she fucking wants with it. And as a guy perspective, let me tell you, if you could have a climax 4 or 5 times a day, you'd be the biggest whore in this world. All right? Now, you would also be a prostitute if someone would pay you to have sex with them. They paid me, right? That doesn't make me a prostitute, but understand it was all legal and all above ground, and that is the only way you're going to address this trafficking problem, by legalizing prostitution. And how I'm going to do this is a 3-step process. Right now, I'm running for the House. After the House seat, I'm going to be governor of this wonderful state. And as governor, I will fix all these county problems to make this thing work. And when I make it work as a state level, I will try to get Arizona to join us and get another state to do this. And we show it works at a state level, then there's no reason it shouldn't work at a federal level. And then when I run for presidency after the governor's thing, we will make it all across the beautiful United States.
Awesome. Sauce, the greatest country in the world, where the streets
Absolutely.
are paved with gold.
Yeah, and you got to control it. I mean, you got to have people got to be safe, man.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only way you're going to stop the sex trafficking. The only way. If you're not going to close the borders, this is the only way you're going to stop it.
Yep. Let's see. Another topic that interests me. What are you going to do to help? Of course, this is something dear to my heart. To help people with disabilities have more opportunities and a little bit more of a comfortable playing ground, so to speak. I'm always be like, hey, whatever your disability is, it shouldn't define you. You should find ways to do the things you love, no matter what. But there are some people. The thing is, in this beautiful country of ours, we have systems in place for people who need the assistance to have it. So my whole thing is, you as someone being in the government office, how do we expand that world between the handicapable and the whatever we call people with all 5 senses?
Well, it's got to be done at a federal level. When it was done at a federal level a while ago, in the beginning, they all realized that they hadn't done anything, and then the government said, "Okay, we got to fix this." And they made each state have to have state guidelines and stuff like that for all this legislation. But then they just stopped. They just stopped caring, right? They decided to spend the money in some other places and not take care of the citizenry like they were supposed to do in the first place. So, yes, at some point, the government's got to be held responsible for the inaction of what they're doing. All they want to do is they want to, when a problem comes up, they go, well, here's a problem. We're the only ones that can fix it, when they're the ones that created the problem.
Like I said, I I might like to. One of these days, I just am praying to God that I get off the waiting list and actually in to this one of these handicap accessible apartments out in Europe.
Whoa! Why is there a waiting list?
Because there's like a demand, and they have
so there's not enough buildings.
Yeah. So if I can, I'm using a company called Accessible Spaces. Shout out Trisha, your organization's awesome. But in the state of Nevada, they have I think it's seven buildings.
What is that?
Right?
What is that house? Barely 700?
Maybe.
Not even that.
Yeah, because I know the one building I talked to was a 3-floor apartment complex. So you're talking maybe 100, 200 people tops.
Right.
And granted, they're, like I said, it just feels that with certain things, it's like, okay. The waiting list, some of these waiting lists shouldn't take 5-10 years.
I was not aware of this problem. Thank you. I will look into it. I'll do some research on it. When I come back on your podcast, I will have a plan. One of my things, the problem is, got a lot of guns killing people, but guns don't kill people. People kill people.
Exactly.
So we have a lot of crazy people out there. So we need more mental hospitals, not mental hospitals that are in a regular hospital, but a built mental hospital. But while we're doing that, we're going to build veteran hospitals. So this would be the third part of the building stuff. Now, we've done crazy stuff like this before, where we built a whole national highway system. We built the Panama Canal. We're capable of doing some amazing things. We're capable of putting up very huge professional buildings very quickly in every freaking state.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the money we spent, now, whether you believe the war thing was good or bad or whatever like that, but the money we spent on that, all these buildings could have been built.
Oh, yeah. There's lots of money that we waste on the federal level that makes me go,
They don't, because it's not their money. They don't care. They just want to spend. They don't care. And when they're spending it, they're spending it on new projects or pet projects or projects for their friends and not taking care of the core projects like what you just described.
I just look at the homeless, the homeless problem in general. I'm just like, I don't know how it is. In Nevada, it looked pretty bad the last time I was there, but
yeah. It's bad. It's bad everywhere.
And so authority in New York reminds me of the '80s right now.
Yeah. So the homeless thing is a problem in every city, right?
Yep.
And as far as the homeless are concerned, they're people that just want to live on the street. Okay, and whatever reason it is, you're not going to change that from their behavior, right? But there are people that don't want to live on the street that have no place else to go. There are people that have been put in houses, but they're forced to take their medication, but they don't want to take their medication, so they make them leave the houses and they're back on the street. So we have to address this. We have to address this homeless. We have to have houses for the people that don't want to stay in the street, and we have to have houses that need help mentally from staying on the street. And so until these things are built, you have no place to go. All you're doing is Band-Aid, where you're giving them like food cards and lots of other stuff. But you have to put them in a house. You have to get them in a place they can call home, not necessarily a house, but a place they can call home. They can get themselves cleaned up. They can get their stuff together. And then when you've got the other stuff, you're like, hey, you know what? There is a better life out here. I like being with people, and this is great.
Oh yeah, cleaning up your life and getting things together is an amazing thing.
Yeah, we've all been down. I've been living in my car before, and a lot of other people lived in their car and stuff before. It's a natural part of life. Some people may have never even occurred to them to live in their car, but they've also had struggles too, whether it's been emotional, physical, not necessarily financial, but everyone's had a struggle, and everybody has a struggle.
But like I said, this is America, the greatest country in the world.
Woo!
Where and Nevada is one of the greatest states in the United States. It's my home away from home right now, and I would love to make it a permanent home eventually. and you know, it just really is a great place. You know, so to anyone who's thinking about moving to Nevada, because it's like a growth state, Las Vegas is like this growth city right now. What are some of the highlights of living out in Nevada?
Well, first of all, we're like, as far as Las Vegas is concerned, we are building, building all the way out to the mountains. We're here in this huge valley, and there's building everywhere. And as I traveled around the other cities here in Nevada, they're also building. So, I mean, this whole state is building. This whole state is building, and it's better at water management than California. So there's so many things we do better than every other state, and water management is one of them. But at a federal level, something to think about in the future, taking water from the Mississippi, bringing it all the way across the United States through several states, and feeding it directly into Lake Mead, keeping Lake Mead full all the time, would have so much more construction all going around the now full Lake Mead. And then we can just have California have all the rest of that water that they're stealing from another state, and they can just waste all that water. Now, this solves a problem because of the flooding in the Mississippi that we spend millions of dollars every year in repairing all the stuff and the damage that it's done. Something to think about.
Interesting.
Yeah, I talked to the designer of the SR-71 Blackbird, and he has a plan all drawn up for all of this. It's quite an amazing feature. It's quite an amazing thing. I was just entertained that it's like a lot of, as I'm meeting all kinds of wonderful people in this campaign. Just one of the wonderful individuals I met and showed me the plan for all of this. So it's not just like some kind of hypothetical thing up in my head. There's actually plans drawn out for this. So
yeah, actually, because the cool thing about this interview is you know, this is amazing, because when I first saw that first video of you running for Congress, I had a text our good friend Alien Rob over at Abduction Wine. I was like, is he serious, or is this some type of publicity stuff?
No,
then he felt because you know, I've been dealing with health issues, and I did not make it to AVN. I did not make it to, you know, Exotica or to any other convention yet this year. And so he goes, no, he's serious about this. And he showed me all, you know, him and I were on the phone for 2 hours on Monday. He showed me everything. I was like, wow. And then just hearing you talk right now, I'm like, this is amazing. You're the type of person in government that we need.
No, that's absolutely the truth, because I'm just gonna lay it out in line for everybody and tell you the guys the truth. If nothing else, if nothing else, I'm not a good liar. So I'll be telling you guys the truth about everything. No, I love Rob. Those guys are actually the best. So the primary, I got to win the primary first, which is up here in June, right? First week of June. And so the people that are running against me in the Republican Party, one's a restaurant guy, and the other guy's a vet. And these guys, I believe, have already run against the incumbent and lost. I mean, so if your choice then is like, you can pick the losers from the last 2 times, because she's been in office, I think, from 2003. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, it sounds about 2004, maybe 5 or something.
Is that probably something like that? I'm not exactly the numbers, but I really didn't follow her career, because there's really nothing spectacular about it. She's a power player. She's always in power, and she's not even doing any ads because she doesn't feel that she's threatened by anybody in her own party, that she's doing a good enough job. So that's the whole thing. I'm the only one who can beat her. So we got to vote for me, because I will knock her out of office, and then I will be in the House. And once I'm on the House, so that's the best thing. The difference between the House and the Senate is, in the Senate, you're limited to, I think, 3 minutes in your speech. But in the House, you can do a filibuster. I can talk for days.
Awesome.
Wait till you see my magic.
Yep. You know, so, speaking of Alien Rob, any updates on Tornado and our sugar waivers?
No, we're looking for money to do it right, and it's a lot of money. So if someone has a lot of money, you definitely want to get a hold of StreamYard, you know, as a guest, and you know, send money.
Yep.
Lots of money, like $1 million money. So that help my friend make his movie.
Yeah, man. Like I said, it's one of the things I want to see done eventually, because he's. I remember when he first told me the idea about 12 years ago now, almost, and I'm like, this is crazy enough to work.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, you know what? Sylvester Stallone, he wrote Rocky, and they didn't want to take it. No one took it, and finally they just kind of like took it on spec.
Yes. Tornado. I actually think Sugar Wafer is the one that's actually even more crazier than Tornado, to be honest.
Oh no, yeah, that's great. I hope they get this thing shot before I win.
Yeah, that would be great.
Once you're in office, you can't do anything else but send insider trading to your spouse so they can make stock purchases.
Yep.
So they can make stock purchases, and you can go from a salary of $164,000, give or take $164,000 a year, to like, I don't know, multi-millionaire, almost a billionaire. Nancy Pelosi.
Yes. So, as far as Navada sports, because I'm still not used to this, we have a hockey team.
Yep.
We have a football team.
Do we?
Are we or are we not getting a baseball team?
It looks like they're building the stadium. They've got like the road, the highways all torn up because in order to put the stadium in, they got to have a ramp, an entrance ramp beforehand and after the stadium. And where they're going to put it, they have to like change a whole bunch of highways. So literally, the middle of Las Vegas is all torn up now. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be amazing. And they're doing this in record time, because in Vegas, you're not going to have your roads all torn up for a long period of time, because your whole business is people coming to your town and getting to the places they want to go. And other states have to realize this.
It's going to take 3 years or something like that.
Yeah. Amazing. What they're doing is going to be amazing. I've done a lot of construction, so I see what they're doing. And I would have never done it that way because it never even occurred to me that way. I thought they were just going to go up over the top of everything with just like these huge expanses of road going up over the top, which just seems like the logical thing to do. But as it is now, these roads are pretty high as they are. I mean, that expanse would have to be really, really huge. And when California falls off into the ocean, I don't know. You know, they're kind of concerned about, I guess, vibrations.
Yeah. I mean, even on the East Coast, about a week or two ago now, we had our own little taste of earthquakes.
Yeah.
And, everyone was just, I knew what it was right away, and I was like, "Yep, welcome to earthquakes, guys."
Yeah, I remember coming out from Texas to California, and I'm sitting there, and I'm getting up, and I'm walking around, and I was like, "Wow, I messed up," and I'm kind of looking at my hands. I'm trying to look at my body, thinking I messed up. I'm doing this, waving my hand in front of my face. I'm like, I can't figure what the hell's going on. And then I was like, oh, okay, so I just get in the shower, right? And then when I get out of the shower, all my phone's blowing up, the radio's blowing up. Oh, big earthquake, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, so that's what an earthquake feels like. Okay, I got it. Yeah, the dogs were acting weird. So, the animals were actually, I believe it. The animals feel this stuff. They know this stuff.
Oh, yeah. My cat was acting weird for the rest of that day. What the heck?
Absolutely.
So I know that
animals thing. We love animals. I love animals, and the society, how they take care of their elderly and how they take care of their animals, it tells everything you need to know about their society, right? And so there's already felony laws against animal cruelty, which are pretty much involving videos taken of animal cruelty. People profiting from taking videos of animal cruelty.
Stop. Sorry about that.
Okay. And videos taken about animals cruelty and people making profits and stuff like that. That's pretty much what the law is. I want to get in office. I want to expand that law. I want to expand that law even further for people being, and also Medicaid, Medicare fraud. Now, as I've been here in Nevada talking to the elderly people, which are not that much older than me, so, and they were telling me what's going on with Medicaid and Medicare and stuff like that. And I know a lot of stuff that's going on, and I'm going to address that too also when I get in office. But I have to get in office, and I have to know what the government side of this is. I know what the people's side is, and I'm pretty sure the people's side is always right. But I got to figure out what's going on the government side of that. So that'll be something else I address in office.
Yeah. On a federal level, can you stronger laws for telemarketers and being harassed by telemarketers like 24/7? The last 2 weeks, I don't know who hacked my phone. I don't know what happened, but it was like every other third call was, this is some governmental agency. We want to sell you, make sure that you're protected for when you're about to die. And I'm like, get off my phone.
Wow.
Thank God the AT&T has a spam risk.
Yeah.
So anything that's a spam risk, delete.
Yeah, I got a
Yeah,
VPN on my phone, I believe, and unfortunately, it takes out almost every call. So if I got someone that call me that I've never heard from before, of course, it takes it right to a voicemail and stuff.
Yep.
Says spam and all this other stuff. I mean, that's pretty much all you can do because it's free enterprise for people to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
What the problem is the data mining and the people selling the data. That's got to stop. AT&T gets your data. They can't sell it. If some other company gets your data, they can't sell it. That's got to stop. I mean, obviously, everybody knows where everybody lives now. That's actually a satellite picture of everybody's house. But there's no reason for people that you gave information to, for them to give it to anybody else.
Sweet. Yeah, it's just crazy. Let's see. I want to know, do you have any fond memories of playing Captain America?
Oh my God. Okay, so Rob Black, I love him. Captain America, right? It was Rob, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, if you want, we can show the trailer. I mean, I found the trailer off of YouTube.
Oh, go ahead, and I'll tell you about it after. Show the trailer. Then I'll tell you
Let's
about
show the trailer. This is just amazing.
We're gonna lose them.
That was great. First of all, that was like one of the few comic books that I followed was Captain America. And so to play the part was just an amazing, amazing thing. And the costume was fantastic, and the shield was like straight up metal. And so, Captain America throws his shield, and I thought it would be really cool if I could practice throwing the shield somewhere where no one could see. And then all of a sudden, I came up and said, "Okay, I'm going to throw the shield and hit this tree or hit the car door or whatever you guys want me to do." And so I'm out there throwing the shield in the field, right? Just throwing it, trying to get the weight of it and stuff like that. And let me tell you, it is not that easy to throw a shield. I don't know how he bounces it off the walls and catches it. No idea. But it is not that easy to throw a shield and have it be accurate. And a lot of the stuff has to do with like the scope underneath it, right? Because you have to get some lift. So how you throw it at an angle and where you want to throw it kind of gives it that lift. It brings it up and around and back around and stuff. So I finally go back into the junkyard. I thought, okay, I'm going to practice. I'm going to bounce it off this car. And then I threw it. And then California wind comes out of nowhere. This wind comes out of nowhere, picks up the shield, right? And it's now like 50 feet up in the air, just flying across the thing. And I'm looking around, and everybody's over by the chuck wagon getting lunch or whatever. I'm like, holy fuck. And the thing goes all over the other side of the junkyard. And I hear a crash. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I run over there, and the shield is fine. It's just kind of bent a little bit right there on the side. And I was like, fuck. So I always kept, if you never notice, I always keep the shield a particular way so you never actually see the bend in it. And no one actually noticed it all the way through the movie that I had messed up the shield. But that was a great movie.
That's cool. So what was one? Do you have a favorite parody that you did for Rob out of his Extreme Comics line? I noticed that you were in Hawkman, Thor, Batgirl.
Get that Thor, absolutely, yeah. Thor was the one. Yeah, Captain America, yeah, but Thor, because I always felt I was like a Viking, and when I had the DNA testing thing, come to find out like 98% Norwegian or something.
Nice. You also worked with one of my childhood heroes, Axel Braun. What was that experience like?
Axel gets it. He really does. He totally gets it. A lot of directors. Some directors, they hire the crew. They know how to shoot it, and they just kind of do the directing thing, with the actors, tell them what they do, what they want, and stuff like that. Some directors are real technical directors, and they just kind of they get the details shot like that, and they let the actors just kind of do what their actors do, and they hire the actors that can do that particular part they already know and all this other stuff. However, Axel nails them both. Axel gets the technical part of it, gets the be able to deal with the actors and get the great performances out of them. And when he's shooting it, he's an editor also, so he shoots it and he knows exactly what he wants, and so he gets that stuff shot exactly how he wants. Some directors shoot it, and then the editors get it and they have to look through the whole footage and the whole movie and try to figure out what they want. When he shoots the stuff, he knows exactly what shot he wants and where he wants to put it in the sequence for editing. So amazing director. Truly gifted. Sorry he's gone. He's not dead. No, he's not dead. He's just
actually, I hope he's happy in his retirement. He seems happy when I see him on Twitter every now and then.
Oh, good.
Because he is a comic geek at heart, so it's easy to just, I tag him on a lot of stuff. He always is very nice and respectful. So,
he's a gentleman. Perfect gentleman.
Yeah, and he still is my dream interview. I've gotten kicked out of many comic book conventions for promoting his stuff. I've gotten fired from writing for comic book news sites for promoting his stuff. Every time I show one of his trailers to people in the comic book industry, they're just like, "When did this movie come out?" I'm like, "It's porno, dude." Like, this was better than the actual mainstream movie. I'm like, "Yeah, here's the version without the sex in it." Check. Which I've done for Suicide Squad a lot. I did it for Batman once or twice.
With the one with Dale DeBone, that Batman?
Yeah, the one with Dale DeBone. Yourself as the Riddler. What was it like? What was it like getting into the shoes of Frank Gorshin?
First of all, I used to watch that show growing up as a kid. Right, get home from school and watch the show, and I had no idea who any of these actors were. And then when Axel said he was going to do it, I did research on the whole show. Every one of those actors were like mainstream actors on stage and stuff like that. Were phenomenal individuals as far as acting chops were concerned. And I was like, wow, hey, that's great. So I ended up losing like 12 pounds to play that part because he's a skinny guy. So, I mean, it's pretty much like that was the coolest thing. But the best part about that, because I really kind of identified with that character, it really hit me off really good. And that the take we took by the jail cell, we nailed it the first time. We just went out there and he says, "I want to do a rehearsal." And I go, "So I got nah." And I went over and I told the cinematographer, I'm going to go over here and grab the bar and stand, deliver a line, go over here, deliver a line, and then I walk over here and finish the stuff. He's like, okay, great. And Axel's like, action, and boom, boom, boom. We nailed it. And then I nailed it so hard that who was the girl that was behind the jail cell? What the hell was her name?
I can't remember.
Yeah. But they were just like, and they almost broke character. And I was like, no, don't ruin this. Don't break character.
It really is a great performance. And, you know, without Batman, that particular parody, I probably would not be doing what I'm doing today. Because that's what really got, there's three things that got me really inspired to be where I am today. Once was, losing my virginity on Stern. The other was meeting Kevin Smith. And, the other was I just watched without the sex scenes in it, Batman Triple X by Axel Braun. And I'm I want to be the comic book and porn guy, side or not side. And I've been cleaning up my life ever since.
You had sex with Howard Stern?
No. I lost my virginity on a show with Rebecca Loeb and Caressa Kisses.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. No, that's high praise, man, because he doesn't let a lot of dudes up. He doesn't let a lot of dudes on his show. He must love you. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was like, one of the highlights, and which I can't watch in that part of my early career because I'm like, okay, I wasn't ready yet. Yeah.
Well, you have wonderful talent.
Thank you. What advice would you give to someone thinking of breaking into the industry today?
Well, since it would take Exotica show for example. Before the show, when I started with the show originally, the people that had the biggest booths were AVN and VCA, Digital Playground, Wicked. Those guys had the big booths, and then as slowly time changes and the technology changes, and now it's all the cam companies that have the My Free Cams and OnlyFans that have the big booths, that have all the girls, that bring all the girls out there and stuff like that. So that is actually the new future of porn, right? So I mean, people ask me where I thought porn was going to be in the future, and I told them I thought it would go to like live sex on stage. We go on stage and stuff like that. But actually, it turned into something that you actually bring the individual into your house via a camera to share them, the intimate stuff which you want to do with them on camera. So that is actually the new future. I mean, as far as making porn stars anymore, there's not a lot of girls that do porn for like professionally anymore. They just do it like I thought a lot of girls that I'm working with, the new girls, are just doing it. It's kind of fun just to do for a while. I'm just going to do porn for a while, and someone's really making a career out of it. And it would kind of be difficult to make a career out of it because we're not shooting that many porn movies anymore. So I mean, you're not going to be a superstar like some of the superstars, of course, that have been at the Exotica show, but you can still be a star. But the cam shows and the cam stars are the ones that are actually the new wave, the new future. I mean, you can just tell by their followings.
Yeah, as someone who's really got on a physical media kick right now, it's like, I wish we can just go back to the days when you had the girl that was the box model for every box.
It took a whole day to shoot the box cover. Girls were excited that when they were on the box cover and stuff like that, because you got a whole day that they would just shoot pictures of you for the box cover. Then you're the star of the movie, and that movie back then took 2-3 days to shoot. Instead, because back then we were using like huge lights, we had to bounce off cards, we're using huge camera gear and all this other stuff. And now it's pretty much you got a 4K camera on your phone. You got LED lights. You bring the color temperature and how much brightness you want, luminosity, just by dials. So it's become a lot easier now.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on AI?
Oh, I love it. I can't wait for it. Pretty soon I'll be doing voiceovers for my things, and then AI will do the voiceovers for me. And I'll be home just making all my royalties like I'm making royalties on porn now. Oh, wait.
Nice.
Hey, AI is coming. It's the wave. It's the future. Embrace it because it's going to be what it is. Now, you're going to see the most beautiful girls in the world, but they're not real. But it doesn't matter. Very science, absolutely.
That's why I keep on telling you when you can make me a girl like in Weird Science, get back to me about AI.
Yeah.
You know, you're also a stand-up, accomplished stand-up comedian. What is the stand-up scene like out in Vegas?
Oh, it's good. I play pretty much any venue I want. I just got to call them and go on down there and do it. It's a good bunch of guys. I mean, a lot of these guys, my comedy's a little different than everybody else's because mine's like telling about what it's like to be a porn star. It's not like the set up, and then you bring the joke back to the beginning like most of these other comedians and stuff do. I am doing, after my primary, I am shooting my comedy special at Palomino's here in Vegas. I will send you guys an invite.
Nice.
I'm shooting it 2 nights, or 2 days. 2 days, yeah, 2 days, and filming it, and then that's going to be broadcast after that. So it's going to be an amazing thing. I got like 2 hours, but they want me just to clamp it all down to an hour, so it's going to be an hour-ish.
That's awesome. What advice would you give to someone who's a stand-up comedian who needs to get the mic rust off?
Okay, well, it's easy for me because I'm used to standing naked in front of everybody. So there's nothing I could. There's no wall of embarrassment. There's nothing there. But to be a comedian, if you really gotta think about it, to be so hard to be a comedian, then maybe you shouldn't be a comedian. Like some people like, yeah, right. They shouldn't be a comedian. Maybe But that being said, Gene Martin and Jerry Lewis. Now, Gene Martin wasn't a comedian, but he's a straight guy, which made him a comedian. So, I mean, there's comedy out there for you. You just got to find your niche, your niche, or whatever the heck they call it, that little bitty spit that is genuine for you and what people think are funny.
Sweet. So are you into anything nerdy now?
Yeah, we just did a horror movie for. Oh my gosh, hold on. Oh, sorry. There's so many things going through my head.
Yep.
Down on the top of my head. You stepped me on this one. Tabitha Stevens, her husband.
It's not a sequel to the clown movie she did, is it?
Yeah, no, it's a murder thing. It's a murder thing. Her and her husband. Yeah, it's. I just finished.
I love Tabitha and Gary.
Yeah, Gary. Yeah, Gary Stevens. Absolutely, yep. Gary's the best. Those guys are just phenomenal together. What a great couple. Love those guys. Yeah, I just did that. Yeah, you got to see it. It's just amazing. I think Gary's put it out. I went to the release party and stuff like that. It was so much fun.
That's awesome. One of these days I have to have them on the show. I watch enough of their movies.
Oh yeah, they're always busy. They're always shooting stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah. And where do you see, is there any problems on the horizon for America as a whole that, you can see being eliminated in the next couple of years or downplayed?
Well, I think with AI, we can eliminate a lot of this government bureaucracy, right? We can eliminate a lot of this stuff because no offices ever go away. Right? They always keep funding them because it's too much work for them just to have to disband it. And all their friends they gave jobs to would have to go find other jobs. And so I want to use AI. I want to use it in the government in a way that we can identify these programs that are no longer being used or these offices that are being financed for no reason. We got to clean house. It's got to clean house with the house itself. That's where I'm going. I'll fix the house first. And then from the White House, I'll fix it all.
Awesome sauce.
Awesome sauce.
Do you have any memories of making the movie Space Nuts?
Oh, Space Nuts was awesome. Stormy and I didn't like each other at that time, and so that animosity on the stage was just phenomenal. I mean, people were just it was stellar performances. But obviously we still like each other, and we always liked each other. But at that point, we didn't really like each other. So So I mean, that thing was just amazing. And first of all, the set. That's not.
I was gonna ask, what was that set like? Is that?
Oh my God, the set was great. It's a damn spaceship inside a hangar. I spent all my time there. People were outside smoking, whatever, eating lunch. I grabbed my lunch and ate inside the spaceship. Hung out there all day. It was just amazing. The whole thing was great, and the staff and the cast. The cast was amazing. I mean, it was because at all the top players at that time were in that movie, and everybody was just phenomenal in it. And they edited it and put it together with the Wicked style, which is just uniquely perfect for what the stuff they do. And the movie just turned out fantastic. It is funny. It is a damn funny movie.
It's hysterical. I actually just rewatched it. Ironically, I just bought 2 copies of it on DVD.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in forever. Yeah, that was great.
You know, I was in a video shop in New York, and they actually had copies of it on DVD. I was like, yeah, I'll take these.
Yeah, hell yeah. You can when you watch it.
I just bring in the next couple of Exoticas to get signed by everybody.
Yeah, so when you watch it, watch the scenes with myself and Stormy. You'll see it. You'll see the energy.
Actually, I met Stormy at Exotica a couple years back, and I was expecting her to be an asshole.
Oh no, she's super cool.
And then she was like she was just like so down to earth. I was actually really surprised.
Yeah, she's amazingly cool.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of problems. She's got a lot of problems now with all the press that's going on with the Trump thing. You know, people threatening her and stuff like that. A lot of stuff it's ridiculous that she has to go through, and I feel so sorry for her on some of this stuff.
Yeah. You play a Trump in a movie. You gonna use any of that role to help you prepare for running on the campaign trail?
Yeah, it's been a while since we did a Trump parody. I can't wait to. In order to do one, I'd have to do one before the primary. But no, but at that time, it was not being done. It was cool. Like now, everyone's making fun of Trump and blah blah blah. So it's not a thing. But at that time, nobody was doing this. It was like I can't believe you're doing this. So I mean, that now it's a little bit later on in time, and so people are not so like taken back by it or need to come see it or just as soon as it comes up on the internet, they're like, oh my gosh, I gotta have this.
Yeah, because I put that performance up there right along with Lisa Ann's Nail and Palin.
What about Republican wife swap?
That one I did not see. But
that was great too. Everybody played a president. It was fantastic. Or not a president, but a member of the Republican Party that was running for the primary. So it was very funny, very very funny because all the guys, a lot of the guys didn't even know who these people were they were playing, but they actually, and these are porn actors, actually did some research. A lot of these guys that really don't care. They're just showing up because they want the vagina and the money. But a lot of these guys are like serious actors. These guys that weren't serious actors took the time to learn how to play that character. So that's how dedicated they were, I guess, either to the Republican Party or to this movie.
Oh yeah, like I said, the only thing I wish they would have gotten Lisa in for a cameo as Palin.
That would have been awesome. But she had done probably 4 or 5 Palin movies.
Yeah,
they were knocking the stuff out because I think I was in another Palin movie with her too, but I don't think I had a scene with her.
Like I said, I see her on the convention scene every so often, and one of these days I just might buy a cameo with her and have her do the impression.
She nailed it. She nailed Palin.
Yeah, she did. She made a whole career out of that, which was awesome. And she's a sweetheart.
Oh no, she's great soul. Great soul.
Yeah. You've worked with a lot of performers over your legendary career. Who were some of your, highlights?
Oh my gosh, they're all so wonderful. Jesse Jane had to be my favorite. When we were doing the Pirates movie and stuff like that, we didn't have sex in the movie, so there's a lot of sexual tension there all the time. And so we we found a way to have sex, but we were not in the movie. No, and I did a lot of movies and stuff with her. Robbie D, amazing director. Digital Playground did a great job and all of that. And she was just a free spirit. She was fun. Totally enjoyed her.
Sweet.
And obviously, she liked me enough to request me because I don't know if people know how the business works. The guys do not pick the girls they work with. The girls pick the guys they're comfortable working with.
Yep. This is the one. This is the one industry where the ladies have 99.99999% of the power.
Full 9.
Yep. Well, we're gonna love to have you on a little bit before the primary.
No, absolutely. I would love to come back. Thank you. And I will have some more information about the buildings we talked about for the handicap accessible. I will have more information. Thank you very much. It's a learning experience. The stuff I've learned so much already about the government and its corruption. I'll get to that later. But the stuff that needs to be fixed and the stuff that's not being done. There's a whole lot of stuff that's not being done. They say it's going to be done and the money's already been there. Then there's stuff that they're not doing. So we're going to get on that. I'm the guy. Get on top of it. Deep inside. Balls deep.
Yeah. Where can the Awesome Sauce family find you online?
You can find me on my site, which will be up here in the next 2 days, which will be Evan Stone for Congress.
Sweet. I want to end tonight's episode with saying thank you.
Love you.
I don't know if you remember, we met at Exotica 2014.
I've known you for 10 years, buddy.
Yep. That Exotica was the first place I went to after I graduated for a school for the blind. And, that Exotica gave me everything I have today.
Yeah, I love those guys. Absolutely love those guys.
Yep. And with that, I'm going to say whatever I can do to help get you into the Congress, I'm here for you. And, much love, and everyone vote for Evan Stone, man.
Peace out.
Yeah, love you guys. Bye.
Love you.
Yep.